Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Justy.
And together we're losing it.
We both lost over 100 pounds by developing healthy habits.
And I also had weight loss surgery and used a GLP-1 medication.
And I used a GLP-1 medication and had skin removal surgery.
We're really passionate about helping people learn to live a healthy lifestyle by sharing our experiences.
But we're not doctors, so if you have questions, reach out to your medical team. And you may see our mascot Sancho pop up from time to time.
And all three of us hope that you find our content useful.
Welcome back, friends. We took a short break. Very short. It wasn't that short. Not that long.
Short. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, because of busy lives, I moved a town over, so that consumed a lot of my time in the last few weeks. But I'm exhausted. Everything's in. It's a nightmare in here, but everything's in the house, so that's good.
Yeah.
But Justy and I have been toying around with the idea of going back on a GLP-1. And that's what this topic's going to be about today. We're going to talk about GLP-1 for us, specifically Zepbound.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say probably, Justy, I bet it was like 2 months ago you came to me and told me about this Eli Lilly Direct offer
Lily
because
Direct.
it is not, it's not covered under my insurance nor
Mhm.
Justy's insurance. So we're kind of stuck like Chuck. We took Mounjaro
Over
almost
2 years
3 years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll be 3 years, 2.5-ish. I came off 2 years, little over 2 years ago. So yeah, I was on it for about 6 months. Justy was on it for about a month-ish.
I think it was more like 3. Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
think
I
it
knew it
was
was shorter.
3. Now that I think about it, I think it was 3. And yeah, it was before my first skin removal. So it's been at least two years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So I was really successful with it. It got me to my goal weight. Um, we could talk more about the side effects and all that kind of stuff, but I want you to start, I think, with talking about what we're doing with Lily Direct, because I think
Yeah.
other people need to know about it, because it's not like, if you're not cup I can't afford it out straight up out of pocket. I just can't.
Right.
So then
Mhm.
Justy came with this suggestion, and that made it way more affordable for me, so I'm gonna let you talk about that.
Yeah, so I have a friend who's a physician, and he has had surgery as well as is currently on a GLP-1. So he was telling me about the Lilly Direct. And so basically, what it is you can get Lilly, who makes the Zepbound. They, for people who are not insured, they have vials of the drug that you can get, and they come in 2.55, 7.5, 10 doses, and they have different pricing for that. But what we're going to do is we talk to our doctors very openly about it, and they have prescribed us the higher dose, which is the 10, but we're going to start on giving ourselves 2.5 because that is a very low dose, and that's how you want to stair step it up. And so really that prescription that is $4.99 currently will last us about 3 months, right? Is that the math?
Four
Four.
months.
4 months if we stay on the 2.5 for the 4 months. So really
Mm-hmm.
that stretches the price out quite a bit. And with this, what the price is right now, if you get a refill, so another month's worth of the 10 dose, then it's $4.99 if you get that refill before 45 days. So if we got
Mm-hmm.
our fill now and then a refill within 45 days, that would give us essentially 8 months of a 2.5 dose. Now, our doctors have both said, the syringes, here's how you fill it. Like, they literally made staff go in,
Yeah, they may be coming
learn
to the
how to fill it.
office.
Yeah. So depending on your doctor and depending on whatever, it could be different, because my doctor really didn't want me splitting the bottle down to 2.5 from a 10. She's like, I'd rather give you the 5. And you do it that way because it's just easier. But then she kind of walked me through it, and she's like, okay, yeah, you're a smart chick. So like, we can do this. And so that is what we've chosen to do. And I got mine the other day. You got yours the other day.
I'm
And
doing shots tonight.
okay, yeah. I'm gonna wait until like Monday for mine. Just Monday is kind of like the day I feel good about it, I guess. But Steph did have a really good reasoning is that doing it on a Thursday will kind of the height of it will be through the weekend. I don't really have the weekend problems because I'm just so busy on the weekends and I prep my food really well. I have kind of like the night snacking problem. Um, and then I kind of want to go backwards a little bit to when we both took it. Steph took it for quite a bit
Let me
longer
hold
than I
on
did.
before you get into that. The thought there is because we took this before, well, we took it when in Mounjaro. Now it's called
Mhm,
Zepbound, same
mhm.
GLP-1, same
Right.
type of formula. Um, the you feel the effects of it the most in the first few days that you take it. And
Yeah.
sometimes by the end of the week, you can start to feel the hunger, the chatter, and all that stuff come back, which is why my sister had recommended to me take it on a Thursday because I take it before I go to bed. So that way, if I had any like initial nausea, I'd be asleep. So I always take it right before bed. So any of the initial side effects I don't get. I've got a good 7 hours until anything that I wake up to. So Thursday night would give me the strongest amount of it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then into
Mhm.
Monday. And my weeks similar to you are kind of mixed, but I feel like the weekend for me, I end up picking and grabbing the most just because of like me meal prep company and like I'm jammed up on the weekend. So I'm busy and I'm
Yeah.
grabbing whatever. So yeah. But that's the thought there.
Yeah. And, when I took it for the 3 months, I think I remember I lost like 8 pounds or something like that. But that was right before my first surgery. And I was really working out a lot and really kind of dialed in. But the Mounjaro back then really helped me dial in. And it was a pretty instant, a pretty instant thing that the food noise went away. And if you don't know what we're talking about when we say food noise, then you don't know. I can't explain it. It's just a constant craving, constant chatter.
Well, you
And I,
explained it really well with like
Mhm.
taking Lucas to the baseball game because that's
Yeah.
exactly
Mhm.
what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead and explain that
I
for
took
anyone who
my
didn't hear it on Instagram.
I took my grandson to the baseball game and I was the whole time I was just constantly thinking about food. Instead of enjoying this precious boy, I was thinking like, oh, well, I could get a pretzel. No, I can't get a pretzel. Well, maybe I could have like a Dr. Pepper. No, I don't want to. Now I ate before I went. And then I was like, oh, he wants a pizza. Maybe he won't eat it all and I can have a piece. And then, oh, he wants ice cream. I won't get one. But again, maybe he won't eat it all. And the whole time I was thinking about food and not thinking about this precious boy that I was with. Now I was explaining to him baseball and stuff, but it was just that it takes so much of my brain space thinking about food. And I've been doing this a long time and I have come up with ways to get through the urges and I have been in maintenance. I literally have been the same weight for like 2 years. Like I was 200 pounds when I went for my first skin removal surgery and I'm 200 pounds today, which I'm comfortable at. I'm absolutely great. I think I look fabulous. I feel fabulous. I'm healthy, all that. But it is the constant battle that drug that I took for 3 months just shut it down. And I'm ready to shut it down again. I
And
don't want to
it
lose.
gave us the opportunity to, God, I hate to say it, but like reset and tune in and get to know your body. Because for me, I had weight loss surgery. I started on Mounjaro 2.5, no, 3 years 3 years post-op, 3 or 4 years post-op. I can't, math isn't working for me today. But either way, it was several years after, because I started, the weight started creeping up. And it's just like, I took that time to really get back to getting my water and getting, hitting my protein goals and cutting out the snacking is really what gets me.
Mhm.
Um, getting Justy definitely hits the exercise mark. I was, but I haven't, and that's another point I want to touch on in a minute. So don't let me forget, Justy, to talk about
I will.
the
We'll
exercise
talk about
point.
that.
But it was the chance for me, for my mind to be clear, because I didn't know what this drug was going to do when I first took it, because the doctor suggested it, and this is before people were taking it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want a shot. And he's like, I really think it's your best bet. Like he kind of convinced me. Brand new doctor, never met the man a day in my life. And he convinced me. And I was like, well, that's what this man is saying. He's the one with a degree. I'll try it. Worst case, I don't like it. I don't take it anymore.
Mhm.
So I did it, and I'm so thankful I did, because just like Justy said, it clears your head up. I can't even explain it, how I was able to focus on other things, on getting the proper nutrition, getting my water, and take, I'm really good with my vitamins anyway, but all the things that a bariatric patient should be doing. Now the difference with us is I still have that restriction on top of this other restriction. So I felt like I was like 6 months post-op again. Like I felt like a newbie in the way that I wanted to eat, which is how you control it. And my doctor back then, this doctor this time didn't give me a number, but then he told me to eat 1,400 calories. So I tracked. I got my exercise in, I got my water in, I did all the right things, and I was finally back on track. So
Mhm. And
that's
you
where
lost a lot of weight on it.
I did. I lost
You
like
lost,
almost
yeah.
60 pounds.
And
I think I lost
I was only
60.
on
Yeah.
it for 3 months and I lost like 8 pounds. I didn't lose as much weight, which again, that's really not what I'm taking it for this time. I'm very comfortable. It was just it turned off the chatter, turned off the
Right.
cravings. And then I was
And
able to make decisions like without all of that. So I was just really protein forward, really wholer foods, just I had to remind myself to eat because I knew I didn't want to be an Ozempic face or whatever. I wanted to keep my muscle mass. I wanted to continue to exercise and all that stuff. So I didn't really lose a lot of weight. I think if I would have stayed on it for longer, obviously it would have, um,
mhm.
at least would have doubled. So I probably would have lost 20 or so pounds. But yeah, you lost a lot of weight on it.
I did. And the mistake that I made though is I only was really, really doing cardio then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I lost more muscle than I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And so this time around, it's like almost every time that I try something new or we shake up, because this is a lifelong journey. And when we shake it up and we do something different, we learn something new. So I learned
Mm-hmm.
that time how to properly, really, really, really properly fuel my body. But I was running a lot then, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all that I did. And I don't think that was the right thing to do while taking this medication, because I wasn't able to eat as much and my body was just eating my muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do that this time. So this time my weights are right over there. So even if I don't make it to the gym, I have weights there. I could do body weight, I could do squats, I can do whatever I have, but I don't want to strictly focus on running. Now, that being said, I do have to start running more because I do have a race coming up in September,
I
similar
do
to you.
too.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be my primary form of exercise right now, because I'm doing a Ragnar. So I'm running like 20 miles, which I haven't run since like November, except for the other day. But I'm running like 20 miles in the course of 2 days. So I need to get my shit together. So that will be my primary form of exercise, but I will focus on some of these weights here. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to bodybuild, but I don't want to lose muscle. So
Yeah.
that's what I was
And
going to
I
say when I was talking about when I said, don't let me forget about exercise, is that, if you're a newbie, first time taking a drug like this, don't skip the weight training. Don't like it doesn't
and
have
you
to
have
be
to
anything
eat.
crazy. It could be your body weight. It doesn't matter. Squats,
Mhm.
lunges, push-ups, sit-ups. Don't skip that stuff. Don't be a cardio queen and take this, because yes, you're going to rapidly lose weight,
Mhm.
but it's going to take your muscle. And I regret that.
And what I've kind of, for me, I I don't want to rapidly lose weight. And I'm still going to do my body scans. um when you take this drug, it literally takes away your craving, takes away your hunger. And so how I did it the last time, because that was, right before I was having my surgery, I wanted to be as strong as possible. So I knew I still needed to fuel my body even though I wasn't hungry, and that was different for me because my whole way I've lost weight is to listen to my body and my hunger and my fullness. So it was kind of like what I still do now is I pack my little bag with I'm more of a 1,700 calorie girl, 1,700 calories, my 140 grams of protein in that little bag, and that's what I ate today. And I would get to the middle of the day and I didn't have anything out of my bag yet, and I'm like, okay, you got to eat this. You have to fuel your body still. Come up
Hmm.
with a way to continue to fuel your body, and it will put you in a if you put yourself in extreme deficit with calories, that is not good. It is not sustainable.
Long term,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's not
Because that's
healthy
a
long term.
as a
No.
weight loss surgery patient, you're going to have
Well,
to do
yeah.
that. You have to
Yeah.
do it in the beginning,
That's
and then you
different.
stair step up. So yes, as long as you're medically supervised with it, you're gonna,
Mhm.
if you're doing surgery, you're gonna have 500 calorie days, and then you have to build yourself up from there. Because I remember those days, I had zero energy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
calories are energy. That
Uh-huh.
it's like you have to
Right.
get the calories in to get your energy.
Right. So that's my focus is just, I have been going through some life changes lately that have been really difficult for me. I've talked about it on Instagram. My daughter has moved in, which she's great and it's been great. It's just different. I'm used to just being me and my dog. My grandson has moved in. He hasn't stopped talking since he moved in. They brought a
Mm.
dog and a turtle with them. I'm building starting to build another bakery and remodel another bakery, and I've got a lot of stuff at work. And I'm starting a new relationship that's really exciting to me, but it's also harder for me because that's just a lot compared to my very normal, boring life.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been really struggling selling the house in Florida, just a lot, right? So this is going to help me be able to stop those cravings and then manage my food intake a little bit better. Again, I haven't gained any weight, so it's not like I'm not managing it, right? But it's hard. It's like
Right.
really been hard.
Right.
So, oh, but
And one of the other things for me with lipedema is I feel like it was, and I want to do some more research on this too, and maybe we reach out to our lipedema expert, but
yeah,
I
I
feel
just had
like it
my
was more
lymphatic massage yesterday.
okay. I feel like
Yeah,
it was more under control when I was taking Mounjaro. Like I feel like Mounjaro helped control that, which I'm thinking Zepbound will too. Because like last night, for example, some nights my legs are so sore when I go to bed that they throb so much and they're like I experience a lot of pain in my legs and I just want to rub them. And I just will sit and rub my thighs and rub my calves. And I didn't have that when I was on Mounjaro.
do you think it's because of the types of food that you were like right now? You're probably eating food that is a little more inflammatory or whatever. And I know for me, when I was on the Manjaro, it was really, I didn't crave anything. So I was able to make a decision. Oh, I could have this chicken breast or I could have this hamburger. It didn't make a difference to me.
Right.
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 And
Yeah.
so I
And I
was
think
choosing better food.
And I think it
Um,
probably is some of that too, but all around, I just my body felt better, my mind felt clearer. I have heard somebody say that with they feel like not only does it take, so this is some side effects. We'll go into some side effects. I know
yeah,
we're close on
I
time,
had
but we'll
some.
go into some of the side effects. But this person
Mhm.
mentioned to me that it not only did it take out the desire to eat foods and things like that, but some desire for other things too. So they just didn't have the desire to like do stuff in life.
Mhm.
And I think that that's a real thing to talk about. I think it's
Mhm.
real because I know that they were looking at using these drugs for like alcoholics to
Addiction.
cure that craving
Mhm.
for not cure, but curb that craving for them too. So I think it's not only does it take your desire to eat certain foods away, but I think it just takes your might be a little fun bum for you. So
Might not
so
take away
that's
I better not take away my cookie desire because I'm in a new thing.
right. So that's something to just keep in mind to be
Uh-huh.
aware of that. I've heard that. I haven't experienced that, but I've heard that. For me, any side effects that I had were gastrointestinal. So it was nausea, and the nausea typically came if I ate anything higher in fat or higher in sugar, which I don't really want to eat anyway. So it made me steer clear of that to avoid the nausea because I would eat and then I'd be like, oh God, why did I do that? Like I had like an ice cream, which is sugar and fat. And it was just like, and I didn't like the way I felt. So then it makes you kind of steer clear of that going forward. So I did have some of that nausea. Probably one of the biggest side effects that I experience and I hear other people talk about is constipation, which
Mm.
is what I'm okay now, but after surgery, it was a battle. I know Justy battles with it. So there's things out there to
Yeah.
combat that. My doctor even said you might need stool softener or whatever, or just better fiber. I don't know if you still do like Metamucil or whatever, but
I
there's
do
there's remedies for
Marilex
that.
every morning in my coffee. Still to this
Yeah.
day, I do it, and I'm going to continue doing it.
Yeah.
Um, my side effect was constipation. It wasn't as bad as like right after my surgeries that I had for skin removal, but because that was really bad. You were there. So that one wasn't as bad, but for me, it was nausea and headaches. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
for 2 days afterwards, I would get nauseous and a headache. Now
And headache, yeah.
I've also heard that it kind of goes away as your body gets used to it. I didn't take it long enough for my body to really get used to it. When I did it back when Steph did it a few years ago, for me, it was just I wanted to see. It was more of like a investigation thing. And I was like, oh, this is great, but I'm not going to spend $1,200 a month, you know? And I'm fortunate, I probably can, but I was like, no, I'd rather have new shoes multiple times. So,
Right.
and I was going into my surgery. And so I did, so my comfort zone where I was the most comfortable weight wise was 185. That was the lowest I got was like 182. I'm now 195, within 5 pounds of 195. So hopefully I can maybe lose a little 10 pounds with this thing. But again, like I said, it's more about me just quality of life that it gave me.
Yes.
And it's so crazy how when you're not thinking about food constantly, then you are thinking about other things and you can do like you have
Mm-hmm.
brain space,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And you know, it is interesting though, because I was sitting at home, actually I was sitting with um bow-legged ginger, that's the new guy's name. So BG, we'll call him BG. So BG, he's a snacker, and we were watching a movie, and there is something to say about snacking and pleasure, I guess, right? So because he's a snacker, he had chips, he had a string cheese, he had, you know, I forget what else while we were watching this movie. I didn't have a desire for any of it because I feel like maybe he was satisfying my pleasure
Sorry.
head. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it was weird because wow, I didn't even want a snack, but my brain was happier somewhere else than food, which was
Right.
a very weird sensation for me. So I was like, well, either I'm going to start this drug or I need to just put him in my pocket,
Right.
which I can't do. So yeah. So we're gonna do it. And we are going to post on Instagram about it. You know, I'm an everyday poster, so we're hoping that Steph will catch up with that. But at least, you know, giving a weekly update. I'm gonna do my weight on. Be, again, I'm gonna do my weight on Sunday just because I haven't weighed myself in a little while. But it's for me, it's not, I'm not looking to lose weight. I'm looking to update you guys on how my week has gone, how my cravings have gone, how my side effects have gone, how my feeling has gone, that sort of thing. If I lose 10 pounds, cool. If I don't, that's kind of what my goal is. How about you, Steph?
Mhm. So for me, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
but also a weight goal because I did. Oh, and that's part of the thing that I wanted to go back to too quickly was I was doing great, like great in maintenance. Justy and I both were,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hurt my shoulder in
Mm-hmm.
December, and that is literally all it took to throw my whole game off course. Like everything, I shit the bed after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was exercising regularly. I couldn't do that. And for whatever reason, I don't know why my brain put it together like that, not exercising, then I started eating outside of things I would normally eat. And once it's almost like once you pick those things up, those bad habits back up, and I'm gonna straight up call them bad habits. I know people are like, oh, it's nothing bad about, no, they were bad habits. And I picked them all back up again.
Mm-hmm.
And my weight then crept up to I'm like right around 200 pounds, which I haven't been that weight in since I started taking
And your
Mounjaro.
goal is staying at like 175, right?
My goal is 165.
Oh, 65. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 10 pounds. I was wanting to stay within a 10-pound range of that, which would
Okay.
put me at the 175, and I was at 175 for a long time, and then
Mm-hmm.
the shoulder
Yeah.
injury. And so from then until now, I've gained 25 pounds. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking in 6, 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane just from not moving, not eating correctly, then, the stress of it all, and then the feeling guilty about it. And then it's like that's adding more stress. Like the whole thing, it just spiraled to the point where I don't mind paying, the somewhat out of pocket. So Justin and I are giving this. So that's the other thing. 2.5 milligrams. I never went over five anyway. Because when
Yeah.
I was taking Mounjaro, I started on 2.5 milligrams. I bumped up to the five. Um, then he was bumping me up to the 7.5 milligrams, but I couldn't get it because it was really in tight demand then. And I was like, whatever, I'll stay on 5. So I stayed on 5. I might have been on 7.5 for like a minute. I might have gotten one box of that. But I stayed at 5 and I was fine with that. And then I went right back down to 2.5 and I lived at 2.5, I want to say for a little while, and then I came off completely.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't need much. I just needed something to keep me going.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
And there's,
eight, it would be 8 months if we 2.5 milligram dosage, it'll be 8 months worth. And then after that, I can't afford to pay out of pocket for it. So if I lost 50 pounds, probably over 50 pounds last time in 6 months, I think 8 months should be all I need to get me back on track. And then I'm kind of hoping insurance catches on and wants to pay for something.
yeah. And I mean, for me, I'm going to stay on the 2.5. Hopefully that just takes the edge off a little bit. And see, if the price, I think the price since when I first heard about this, it has dropped a little bit. I feel like they might drop a little bit more. If I feel like I want to continue it, still, I mean, it's 8.99, I think, outside of the 45 days. For me, that's fine. For 4 months, right? 8.99, 4 months, that's like $200 a month, or 200 and whatever, $25 a month, I think. And to me, that, I mean, I spend that on, shoes. So, which I don't need to do. So I can manage that. But again, I'm just going to see, I'm going to do let's get through the first 4 months, and then we'll, or the first 40 days, and then we'll order more and kind of do that and just see where it's at. I'm obviously not someone that's going to waste money, but, and I struggle. I'm rambling, but I struggle because I've done this on my own, right? I didn't have surgery. I didn't have any tools. I just lost all this weight by myself. And I'm just a very prideful person, independent. I got this. I don't need help, whatever, but I do. And I do because I'm tired. I'm tired of battling it. I'm tired of it. And I know this is out there and I know it works. And
Right.
so it's kind of like, I'm just giving up on that stubbornness. I know it's an early Christmas miracle. And I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get the help. And now that I've decided that, I'm all about it. And so, you're probably gonna get sick of hearing me, but I'm all about it. And I also have had multiple people we've had reach out on Instagram and through life, that are on the low dose of 2.5, and they're like, yeah, it just kind of takes the edge off. So,
Yeah, yeah.
mhm,
And we'll see how it goes. I mean, we flex as we need to. Justy and I
mhm,
talk almost daily, if not, several times a week. And this is the kind of stuff that we talk about, like, hey, here's what I'm thinking. She's checking in. Did you get your box yet? Yeah, I got mine. Oh, it was covered under, I could use HSA, so that was
yes,
great. I could use my health
mhm,
spending account to pay for it, so I didn't have to come, granted, that's my money, but I didn't have to come like with, a hard 500, was it $500 out of
yeah,
pocket. Yeah, I didn't have to, so I was able to use my health spending account. So that was good. And I will do that again for the second round. And then we'll see where we're at. But I feel like 8 months is enough to set me straight. And I'm just hoping 8 months is also enough time for the health insurance companies to get on board, because
mhm,
you wouldn't, if it was for any other disease, there just wouldn't be this much issue.
not at
And
all.
that's kind of how my doctor felt. It was actually a nurse practitioner at our office, but
Me
she's
too.
kind of like, it's a shame that we have to do this. It's a
Hmm.
shame that we have to even go this route when it is proven to really just help people, like you. She's like, you're like a perfect candidate for it. Nutrition, the right things to do. You're just struggling with it. And you're struggling because you suffer from the disease of obesity. I think we've made it all very clear now. It's a fucking disease. Like,
Clear, yeah.
I've
And
been fighting this my
the
entire life.
problem is that this drug has been abused by people that don't need
Yes,
it, right? They have been
right.
abused by people who've never been 300 pounds, who don't have a food addiction, who don't have the metabolic makeup or the hormonal makeup that makes this drug necessary. And, they are the ones that are kind of putting a bad name to it. But for those of us in our community that have been morbidly obese and we've done the work, whether it's through surgery or not surgery or whatever, Sancho, um, it's a very valid tool, and it's not shameful, and it's not something that you took the easy way out. I've proven that I can do this, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but yeah, I just think I deserve, after all this time and all this work I put into my body and everything, that I deserve to be able to just live with a relaxed mind without
Yeah.
an addictive pull
Mm-hmm.
all the time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Yep. I'm with you. So
Yeah.
here's the 8 months of it, and I'm
So
going
we're doing
to,
it.
I looked at the vials. They're the tiniest little things. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna pull 2.5 milligrams out of here. She showed me how to do it, but I'm like, it doesn't even look like there's that much in the damn thing to begin with, let alone to split
Yeah.
that in four.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
gonna
that's what
take a
my
little
doctor was
closer.
talking about. So,
I'm gonna take a little closer look at it tonight. I did some research because she showed me, but she didn't show me with the vial. The vials hadn't come yet. She hadn't ordered them for me yet, but I have them now. I have the syringes. I have everything I need, but I don't want to screw it up. So I
well, and
was
my
doing
doctor
some
said to put it in
Googling.
and pull it a little bit further, and then while it's in, scooch it back up
Yes, to get
so that
create the
the extra
air
will
that
go
that will
back
help
into
to
the,
push it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, yeah,
So
we'll
tonight's
see.
my night. So I it's a Thursday. I take mine tonight, and then I will weigh.
Well, you let
I'll
me
take
know.
before bed. Yeah, I'll take it before bed, and I don't know how I'm gonna. The auto injector pen took me 30 minutes to do with Mounjaro. So this one I have to actually squeeze a fucking needle into myself. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you got
Um,
this. I do vitamin
you
B
do the
shots,
B12, right?
B12. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you don't even feel
Um,
it.
And the one thing she did say was to avoid, I don't think we'd never mentioned this before because this is the first time I heard it. And I don't think I told you. I know I told my sister, but she said if you have stretch marks, to avoid any stretch marks because it doesn't absorb as well there because of scar tissue.
Oh,
So,
so I need to avoid my entire body.
yes,
I could put this shit in my
just
thigh.
get it between the
I
stripes.
don't think I
Just
have
got
to
to get it
stretch
between the
marks on my
stripes.
thigh.
And
That's
she said
interesting.
she said rotate sites. So she said kind of go like in a circle, like upper right stomach, lower, leg, stomach, and just to keep
Mhm.
going around to minimize side effects.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna
So
tonight's the night and then weigh
at
in. It
night.
will be Friday mornings. Also, I'll take my
Okay.
shot on a Thursday night and weigh in on Friday morning. So I will officially weigh tomorrow morning. I know where the scale is and all of the sea of moving stuff. And then we'll post the journey on Instagram. So
Yeah. And mine's gonna be on Sundays. Sundays is like my Sunday, Monday. So my weigh-in usually is Sunday. I do my food prep, my weigh-in, all that on Sunday. I honestly weigh myself almost every day, but I haven't logged it in a while. I just step on and whatever. So and then I'll do my shot either Sunday night or Monday night. So I might just keep it to Sunday. So yeah, we will update you on that. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to us because we've done a lot of research. And I've had, my friend who is a physician, my physician, Steph's physician, we've all talked about this to exhaustion. So, and it really has been in our minds for several months. It's just, getting the decision to just do it. Yeah.
right. Yep, pulling the trigger.
Pulling it.
So shots on me tonight.
Yes, yes. And let me know about the pulling it and if you found something easy or not, because yeah.
Pray for me. I might be calling you.
Yeah, we can FaceTime. I have a
Yeah.
date tonight, but you can still FaceTime. I'll always answer.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All
Well,
right.
that's it for today.
All right. Sounds good. We'll
What do
talk
we have
later.
coming up?
Fuck if I know.
Not if I know either. We have a couple guests that we've been kind of trying to figure out. So
Yeah,
let's try to get those.
let's solidify that. Yeah.
I do have a couple of people that are in my friends network, or actually my business network. We just had one of my employees pass away. Mac was a dishwasher for us for a long time, and he had a stroke the other day and passed. And so that's been a real eye-opening thing for a couple of my unhealthier employees. And so they have been asking me a lot of questions about this and that and whatever.
Mm.
So I think I really would like to do one about, like, if I had to do it over again, what would I do to get started? Because that's what I get asked a lot, is like, how did you start? How did you do this? How did you, whatever? And I'm like, well, let me think about
it was
it.
a hot mess.
It
Yeah.
was a hot mess, but if I could like stop someone else from going through all the bullshit hot mess, maybe
Right.
and
Yeah.
you too with your surgery, right? So how did you get started with that? So kind of you're at your beginning of your journey and you need to do something, like what I suggest to do or what maybe you suggest to do. So I thought that might be fun.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. All
All
right, we'll
right.
set it up.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, bye girl.
All right. Bye.